What's going on, guys? KW Stout, healthmindpower.com. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why health is the absolute number one priority, why it's more important than your job, why it's more important than your family, and why it's more important than your friends or anything else in life. Okay? Health always has to come first. It has to be the top priority. And the reason is because health spills over into everything else in life. Your health is the one thing that's going to affect everything else in your life. So, for example, at your job, okay, how much more productive are you going to be if you have more energy? Okay, how much more productive are you going to be if your mind is clear because you're eating healthier food? Okay, how much better of a parent are you going to be if you have the energy to actually play with your kids and if you can go outside and play sports with them, and how much better of a parent or spouse or whatever are you going to be if you can protect the people you love? Okay, if you're overweight and you get out of breath easily, I mean, really, how many people, what kind of attack can you really defend off? Unless you have a gun, of course, which where I'm from, that's pretty normal. So, but that's besides the point. Um, Health really is number one, and that is why my website healthmindpower.com is spelled out like that: health, mind, power, in that order, because I believe that is the best way to basically get more out of life, to be successful, be happy. All the things that, whatever it is for you that you're trying to get out of life. Okay, that's typically the most effective way to go about it. You got to get your health in check first, okay? Because when you're a healthy person, you're more effective at everything else you do. You're more effective at your job. You're more effective as a friend, as a parent, as a lover, as a spouse, whatever. Okay. There's those, I mean, it's like, what's that quote? Oh, I know Mark Bell says, strength is never a weakness. And I think, what's this other guy? There's another saying kind of like that. Oh, strong people are harder to kill. Okay, anyways, you get the idea. But another thing is, why health is so important is because health is one of those things that you can't really, depending on how bad you let it get, you can't always get it back, or you can't always get it back to where it was. As opposed to like a job. Okay, say you lose an income source. If you lose money, if you run out of money or whatever, you can always make more money. You can always get the money back. You can always find new ways to make money. You can always find another job. You can always start another business. Okay, the same thing goes, with other areas of life. Okay, with family, I mean, yeah, you can't replace family, obviously, but if someone has really done you wrong, a family or family or friends, and in some ways they can be replaced, meaning you can find other people that you love and they love you and that you connect with and that you have a great relationship with. Okay, obviously, this is kind of a touchy thing for a lot of people. If you have issues with direct family members like your parents or siblings or whatever, of course you can't literally replace them. And I'm not even saying you should, but I think you get where I'm going with this. Okay, health is one of those things. It's just, you don't ever want to let it get too far out of control, because you can easily reach a point where you can't come back to where you were. Okay, for example, like a lot of people, after they have a heart attack, they forever have a weaker heart. Sorry, I hit the mic. And they forever, it's something they have to deal with. Okay, now obviously I'm not talking about health conditions or tragic health events that are out of your control, because it's out of your control. So there's no point in talking about it. There's no point in worrying about it. There's no point in making that a priority, because you can't control it anyways. I'm talking about what you can control. And specifically, especially when people are, getting overweight and letting all these other, I mean, it's just common sense. We all know it. You get overweight, it leads to cardiovascular disease, and it leads to all these other conditions that stem from there. So why start that chain reaction when it's completely preventable? It's a choice. Okay, these things aren't just conditions that happen to you. It's a choice. It takes effort. It actually takes effort to get fat. You have to eat a lot of food. Anyone who's ever tried to bulk up and gain muscle knows you that eating a lot of food, it actually it actually is more effort than eating less food, okay? 'Cause you got to spend more money on food. You got to spend more time eating it. You got to spend way more time digesting it. Anyways. But another reason why health is number one is because mental health and physical health are so connected. And this is something that's just, for some people, they would consider this a very controversial subject because, there are different schools of thoughts about this. A lot of people believe that the mind and body are very separate when in reality they're actually very connected. And there's a lot of evidence, and it just kind of makes logical sense too, that people tend to think that our mind affects our body in that order, but in reality our body affects our mind. Actually, it goes both ways. That's the thing. So you can look up research by Amy Cuddy on power poses, which showed that people who use power or stand or sit in power poses saw boosts in testosterone and decreases in cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And there have been other studies like this too that show that we can do physical things and affect our mind, whereas we have this preconception that we're kind of told to believe that our mind is in control of everything, because that's part of the human ego. We think that we're so special compared to other animals that we think that our mind is, so much more superior, and it is, but we think that we can just mentally get our way through everything. I think that's why people are so attracted to the law of attraction and, The Secret and that kind of stuff, and why why that is such an easy concept to sell to people. It's because the idea that our mind can control everything is something that we all would like to believe, right? Because it sounds easier, and the other thing is it just kind of gives you a level playing field, right? Because it doesn't matter where you were, what situation you were born into, where you live, and all these different things. You can just, mentally will yourself into it. And I'm not saying there isn't truth to a lot of those things either. But what I'm saying is that if you're in poor health, it's almost impossible to have a healthy mental state if your physical health is constantly wearing on you. So a lot of people, who are suffering from depression and anxiety and these different things, whenever they're really out of shape or they're just eating really unhealthy foods, a lot of people don't even know they're unhealthy because they're not overweight, they are an average weight, or even plenty of fitness people who are just completely ripped, have a six pack and everything. It doesn't mean they're healthy. They're still eating like shit. What's going on the inside is not very good. And that stuff does seep into your mind constantly, 24/7. The mind and body are connected. So, and another reason why health is number one and why it's such a priority is because your health is the biggest determining factor in your life expectancy, which again is gonna affect everything else in life. For example, let's just say you have a good chance at living to 90, okay, if you live a healthy life. And let's say if you completely let yourself go, that your odds go down to living till 60 because you have a heart attack or something. And I'm saying, like, really let yourself go. Now, obviously we're just making assumptions and jumping to conclusions here, but I'm trying to make a point here. And the point is that the longer you live, the more money you can make, okay? So the more you can contribute to your family, the more you can contribute to other people, okay? The more you can contribute to the world in your career. Not even just with making money, but with what you actually do, okay? The more you can give, The other thing is, the longer you live, the more time you have with your family. I mean, do you want to die before meeting your grandkids? I mean, wouldn't it be awesome if you could actually meet your great-grandkids? I think that would be pretty cool. And you also have more time with your friends. You have more time to connect with other people, to get new experiences. And, I mean, I don't know. I guess not everyone wants to live forever. I don't want to live forever, just to 123. But, it does, if you look really at the grand scheme of things, we have the luxury of being able to live a longer life now because we have so much more knowledge and so many more tools to help us do it. at this point in life, we can live the healthiest lifestyle possible. It's so easy. It's never been more convenient to be healthy. So it really is a choice. It's a choice that you can make. It's something that you have to prioritize. And if you're in a situation where you feel like your life is in shambles, you've always got to find a way to make health a priority. No matter what's going on, you've got to find time every day, not every day, but you've got to find time throughout the week to exercise, and you've got to do what it takes to eat reasonably healthy. Okay, it's not a choice. It's not something you can put off. The longer you put it off, the worse it's going to be, and the more damage will be done. And this is one of those things where you have to be selfish about it a little bit. I mean, you know, if that means you miss out on you know, hanging out with your friends for an hour or something because you go to the gym, so be it, because it's more important. It's more, you know, your health is more important than them. It really is. So it's not to say that they're not important. It's just that health is that much more important. Okay. So now I'm not saying you should just be late to your job and say, oh yeah, well I had to work out. You know, no. Wake up early. Wake up earlier and go, or stay up later and go. You know, just do what it takes. But I get it. You know, when things are tough in life, and it's so hard to focus on the immediate stresses. I mean, it's so hard to not focus on the immediate stresses and to think about things like dieting and exercise. And I don't mean dieting like losing weight, but just eating healthy in general and exercise. You know, people think those are nice to haves, but they're not nice to have. It's a necessity. It's an absolute necessity for an overall quality of life. It all starts with health. Health is number one. It's more important than your career. It's more important than your family. It's more important than your friends. It's the most important thing. And the thing is, it's not like, I'm not even trying, I mean, this sounds like it's this huge burden, like nothing else matters in life, and that's not the case at all. I'm not saying it has to completely take over your life, because that's the point. Once you've got your health in check, it's in check, and that's that. You know, it's just once you've got yourself in a good position, health wise, maintaining it is easy. You know, if you're really out of shape, or if you really are just you know, unhealthy for whatever the case is for you, then yeah, getting to a really healthy state is a challenge, and it is hard, and that is when you have to make some sacrifice in other areas to get there. But once you get there, maintaining it's easy. And then from then on out, you just have to make sure that it stays a priority. That no matter what's going on, you still make time for it. And you make time. You don't hope that you have time. You make time for it. And when you get that in check, everything else comes together. I mean, you see this all the time, where people get in shape and completely turn their lives around in all areas because they gain confidence in themselves and they feel better, and the process of what it takes to get in shape and to get stronger makes your mind stronger. You know, it builds up your work ethic. It teaches you about, you know, setting out to do something and actually doing it, and figuring out what it takes to do it and doing what it takes. Okay, and these things cross over to everywhere else in life. And I don't mean just career wise. I know I talk about that a lot, but I'm talking about everything. Like, what does it take to have great relationships? You know. So, anyways, it's just something that is important to me that I wanted to share with you. I've actually written a whole article that kind of breaks this down, probably in a better way than I said it here. So if you want to read that, there's a link in the description below. And that's it. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Tell me if you completely disagree. That's fine. And subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.